Dear Dharma friends and our practitioners, it's a Sunday, the 7th of September 2025. We continue with the topic. The true Dharma is to detach yourself from everything, to consolidate our belief in our Buddha nature and go along with the directions of practicing the right directions is to detach yourself from everything. When you make a body vows to practice, we always detach ourselves from everything. Our master always remind us to focus on the pre-thinking aspect of the mind by using the doubt. Usually sentient beings always attach themselves to what they ask for, what they achieve, and what they fear of. And that's why they're always asking for something in this life. If you don't know the roots of these problems, you won't be able to walk toward your goal. This is why the detachment from everything in Patriot Zen is very important. When we ask the questions and raising doubt, we focus on the pre-thinking aspect of the mind. We don't focus on the questions. However, we don't attach ourselves to anything that's going on during the practice. Huvan Zen's master remind us that if you still have doubt, which means you still need to ask questions and raising doubt. We don't put in our own opinions, the consumptive mind in our practice. If we still attach ourselves to any of those consumptions, which means we're going on the wrong path. Our patriarch always gave us an example. The wood is for the fire. If you want to stop the fire, you have to take away the wood. If you keep putting into the fire the wood, then you cannot stop the fire. When the wood take out of the fire the wood, then the fire will automatically stop. Another example is if you want to stop the boiling water, you have to take out the wood to stop the fire. And that is an example for us to realize the meanings behind the explanations, behind the example of the Buddha, the patriarch. The patriarchs and the Buddha always want us to detach ourselves from everything that we've seen during the practice. And that's a topic for this week. If you have any questions or want to share your own experience, go ahead and speak up. Kim In, go ahead. My mom want to ask a questions. as you just said in your Dharma talk, if you want to follow, to do the practice, you have to follow the right directions. To detach ourselves from everything is very difficult. Could you give us some words to help us to detach ourselves from everything? So in order to detach ourselves from everything, we need to believe in our own Buddha nature completely. These going simultaneously. If you believe in your Buddha nature just 1%, then you can detach yourself from everything just 1%. And if you believe in your Buddha nature 10%, then you can detach yourself from everything 10%. When you start the practice of the Patriarch Zen, we make a body vows that we don't achieve anything, we don't ask for anything, and that is also one of the requirements in the practice. Just because we still have something that we ask for and something that we will achieve, that's why we still have some attachment. When we still thinking of the benefit, we still thinking of the achievement and attached to them, which means we still running outside of the mind and attached to something outside, and we don't believe in our own Buddha nature. And when we do in the practice, when we still attach ourselves to anything at all, which means we're not going on the right path, and we will be confused between the right and wrong. We always confuse the right for the wrong, or the wrong for the right. When we have a right view, we will go on the right path. But this need to be doing the practice continuously, relied on the three jewels of Buddhism, follow the precepts, or the words from the Buddha or the Patriarch, is to help us to detach ourselves from everything going on in our mind. But for people who practicing for a while, if you have these questions of how to detach yourself from everything, which means you have some progress in your practice already. However, you just have to go back to your practice, follow the teaching of the three jewels Buddhism, consolidate your belief in your own Buddha nature, and just go back to your own practice. Don't attach yourself to any benefit, any achievement. Don't let the love, the ignorance to make you confused in this practice. This will help us to practice and to help everybody surrounding us to go toward the liberation of our own mind. We don't use the thinking. We don't attach ourselves to the thinking. Just go back to asking questions and raising doubt. Just keep on practicing asking the question clearly and raising doubt. Everything is just because our habit, like an addictive person who addictive to drugs, and when they have the addictions going on, they always want to run toward that way to take drugs, even when they go to a recovering centers. They still need to overcome a lot of challenges. Sometimes they have to bite on their tongue. They have to tie them up in order to get over those feeling of addictions. And when you overcome that addictions, then you can start to go and live in a new life. The challenges always there in our practice. If we cannot overcome the challenges, you won't be able to reach your goal. This is why the Buddha and the patriarchs always there to remind us to go back to the practice. The practice will help us to overcome these challenges. If we cannot going over these challenges, which means we still going back on the old path, we won't be able to reach our goal. When we doing our practice, we overcome the challenges, we helping ourselves, and we also helping everyone surrounding us who also practicing the same methods. Just like Hoàng Bá, Zen Master said that if you're not going through the flowers, not going through a really harsh winter, you won't be able to enjoy the fragrance of the flowers in the springtime. So everyone have the love that they followed. However, that love is just like a cause and effect. The love is also the hatred. The hatred is also the love. When we liberate ourselves from all the thinkings in the mind, then love and hatred are the same. We neutralize everything in our mind. When we doing the practice, we don't use the thinking in the mind. However, we using the wisdom, and follow the wisdom will lead us to the liberation of our own mind. When we going back to this non-discrimination mind, everything will be dissolved. There's not right or wrong in our Buddha nature. When we're going through the problem or the challenges, if we overcome that challenges, then you are progressing in your practice. Is that understandable? Thank you for your words. I will try to do the practice and go back to the practice to be progress in this. Tâm, go ahead. I have a thinking. I'm still practicing. When there's no one in the body, I feel very good. But when there are more people in the house and they talking, they discussed, and I don't feel good about that. Is that still I still have the attachment to the objective and subjective? Could you please help me on this? We are practicing and we always focus on our pre-thinking aspect of mind when we still have some attachment on the feeling good or feeling bad. Just like when you said, when you like a quiet place and you don't like a place that's too crowded, and that is still the discriminations and attachment. When we have the right view, we don't attach ourselves to those dualism. When we have a right view, we don't attach ourselves to the right view and say that the wrong view is not good. We detach ourselves from both right and wrong here. When we have the doubt, we don't right or wrong. When we practice, we feel like our mind is empty and we don't attach to anything at all, but that thinking is the attachment already. When we think that there should be no thinking in our mind is the right way, that is not the right way. Our mind is very tricky. It's always trick us away from our practice by giving us these thinkings. For a person who really in their practice, it feels like a stupid person, but it's not. They knew everything surrounding them, but they don't attach themselves to anything at all. It's just like when the boiling water is going on, you have to take away the fire by take away the wood. Anything going on during our practice, we don't attach ourselves to the quietness or the crowd surrounding us. We don't follow anything at all. It's just like a person who loves to listen to music. Sometimes when they hear something outside so crowded, they listen to the music and the music calm their mind down and you have to rely on the music in order to calm your mind down. When we still listen to the quiet or the sounds from outside, which means we still going out of our mind, not going into or entering our own practice yet. Just remind yourself when you see so, just go back to your practice and continue to practice and ignore everything going on surrounding you. People said that it's a good practice when you doing the practice at home. Second is to practice in the marketplace, and the third is to practice in the temple. This doesn't mean that practicing in a temple is not good, but this means you need to put yourself in a situation, in all situations, in order to practice effectively. So in our practice, at first, when we know about the right Dharma, we know the means from the Buddha and patriarchs, we rooted ourselves in a circle of birth and death, and we start to practice. When we practice, we don't pay attention to anything going on surrounding us, good or bad, progressing or not progressing. Just use that as a reminder to go back to your practice. It's just like when you're working in your job in a company, everybody can hate you. You just focus on your work and keep on doing your work, good work. Nobody can affect you at all. Nobody can affect your work at all. And when we do in the practice, no matter what happens, any situations, even when you are poor, you are a beggar, you still going back to the practice, asking questions and raising doubt. Our mind is always trick us into the thinking, just like the arrangement of this life. What should we do when we're living? And what should we do when we die? We want to arrange everything. However, when you stop breathing, you cannot arrange anything at all. It's just based on the cause and effect. Everything are just in a dream. However, this is not like we will live the way our life the way it is. We want to do everything that we want. We let it be and do whatever that we want when we don't believe in cause and effect. We might have a tendency to do everything that we want. Must believe in our cause and effect too, because whatever seed that you plant down, you have the appropriate tree growing along. So based on the experience in our practice, we will consolidate our belief in our methods of practice and continue to practice again. It's just like listening to the music to calm our doubt, out my doubt. We still rely on the music, which means it's not the right way of practice. When we still rely on the circumstances for our practice, that is not the right way of practice. Just practice in all situations, all circumstances, that is the right way of practice. When we entering the practice, the stream of practice, anything going on won't affect us at all. The good, the bad, the quiet place, or the crowded place won't affect us at all. Anything going on, our mind still the same. Even there's a lot of challenges, a lot of changes outside, our mind still very calm and stable. And that is our practice. Is that understandable? Yes. Thank you. You are very clear in explanations. Sometimes I have this feeling I still have a little bit of attachment to what's going on outside, and I still using that to go back to the practice. I still have this feeling because recently I have some difficulties in my job, and I still have these feelings of attaching to the good feeling and avoid the bad feelings. And I will remember your words and just keep going back to my practice when facing with these problems. Thank you for your words. Hoàn cảnh. You usually remind us to root our practice in the circle of birth and death. We practice in order to solve our own problem of the circle of birth and death before we die. Like what Zen Master said, if you thinking of your circle of birth and death, you can use the suffering to liberate your own mind from the suffering. But if you're thinking about the fame, then you using the suffering to enter the suffering. There's a story about a practitioner when this practitioner before his death, he has practicing diligently, continuously. His wife has told a story that this person before his death, he has arranged everything for his death, so he's not leaving any suffering for his relatives. So he said that when he practicing, he realized where he gonna go after the death, and so he told his wife that after his that after he died, he asked nobody to come and visit him at all, and he said that he just go without leaving any suffering or anything to his relative or any of his friends. So I feel his story is very valuable. It taught us that we need to practice, and our practice will help us to deal with our own death. We will know what we're doing during the time of the death when we practice diligently. We always ready to go anytime with our practice along. We can go without leaving any problem or any suffering to our relatives at all. And that is a story I want to share to everybody, every practitioners. So with this story, anything going on in our life, the fame, the prosperities, anything at all that we attach ourselves to, that is the ignorance. It's just like the experience that I had when I live in the monastery. I saw a lot. It's just like a kid having a heart disease. He living a short life. However, he has a mind of an adult. He told his parents that don't worry. He knew that this life will be like that. Just accept that. Don't be afraid. Don't be worried at all. And even though he small, he's a young kid, but he has this special thinking in his mind. So he prepared his mind for the death. He gave up all his properties to his friends and everything surrounding him. So these are just dance, just like a cause and effects that this kid's going through. He has a good seed that he planted. Now the effect is there already for him. There's another story. That's an old lady who had practicing for a while, and when she's very calm when facing with death. She arranged everything for her funerals, anything, even the hospital fees and everything before her death. And she knew before the time that she died. However, her life is a person who loved to play lotteries. Those are just the cause and effect. Even she knew the time of her death, arranged everything, but doesn't mean that she had a diligent practicing at all. And the story from our before his death, he still want to use his death as a teaching lessons for his disciples. When before he died, he had some diseases going on, and he screaming, and he's complaining a lot. And his disciple said that why when you living, you are really good at practicing, but now when you're facing death, you complaining, you screaming a lot. So he criticized his disciple. You living with me for long, but you still don't understand me. So he just wrote down a poems before his death and sit up, erected, and meditate into his death. And that is the person who really knew his death based on the practice. Another story that the two practitioners who one thought that he already enlightened, and the other one told him that you still don't understand the still don't understand our master meanings. So this person who thought he's enlightened, he said, why do you think so? And his friend said that you still don't understand our master meanings. So he sit down, burn an incense, and go into the meditate and die. His friend still said that he's still not understanding the meanings of his master. And all the practitioner asked him why. He just said he still not understand the master meaning. So doesn't mean that you can arrange everything, know what you do. That is the enlightenment.